Alright, I'm gonna try this thing again. I actually recorded the whole video, but I did not have my microphone on, so that's trash. Anyways, I want to talk about what's been going on with everyone's talking about this. The PS3, PlayStation Vita, and surprisingly the PSP store, I didn't even know it was still up. I thought that thing was gone. That stuff is going in a couple of months. And I'm really pissed off because this is one of those things where I actually thought that Sony would give us like, hey, in a year, we're going to shut this down. Even like if they said earlier this year, like, hey, just so you know, guys, in December, we're going to shut down the stores, all this stuff. We didn't get no freaking warning, really. They just said, hey, in 2 months, it's gone. That's pretty much what they said. So the PlayStation 3 store, the Vita store, the PSP store, say goodbye to all those indie games, the DLC content, like everything in there is going to go. Let that sink in. There are games on the PS3 that are only playable on the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation Vita, and the PSP. Those games will no longer be in existence. The only place you'll find them is probably in some warehouse on a dev kit computer or on some burned disk. Hey, this is where straight up piracy is the only way. Like, I'm not saying to break the law, but guys, people who have like, you know, just question like, hey, maybe should I mod my PS3 or not? It's time. Right now is the time. Mod your PlayStation 3. Time to mod the PlayStation 3. Download everything you can get. I'm gonna just tell you guys what I'm doing right now to like kind of like make up for lost time, or you know, like just, you know, make sure I have things ready just when the store closes. Just so you guys know, actually a year ago, it's almost a year and a half now, I was actually prepping for this because I don't know why, I just had this funny feeling that, hey, one day Sony's going to shut down the store. Maybe I should look into buying stuff that's not available on the PS4 or the PS5. Well, the PS5 wasn't out at the time, but you know, more specifically the PS4, and things that I could only play on the PS3. Because if you guys remember, the PS3 has a processing chip that made it extremely hard for developers to make games for, or so they say. You know, they don't want to figure it out. And a lot of the indie devs took advantage of it. And there's a lot of great indie games. But then you got to think like of, you know, what other content is out there that, you know, is going to get lost. Because there's thousands of things on the store right now. I'm going to use an example. I'm going to pull these games out. Because not only are the is a PlayStation Store going to affect like games that, you know, just be lost in time, but you see all these PS3 games right here? Yeah, half that crap has downloadable content in it, and half of that downloadable content, I would say, is pretty necessary to the experience, and I'll show you guys. So one of the major examples I'm going to use right now, granted not the best example, I'm just saying one. I'm going to pull out a couple of others right now, but and please, I loved these games, alright? I actually really did, aside from one of the endings. I actually really did enjoy it. I know a lot of people have their problems with it, but I'm not saying they're perfect, but I did enjoy these games. The Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, you know, I'm going to just toss this one out right here, right off the bat. You buy the game, you get everything in the game. There's no DLC. It was a complete game. And you know what? I had a lot of content. I'm thinking about it. There's a lot of stuff in this game. And believe it or not, guys, I actually really did enjoy this one. I guess just because I wasn't hyped for it, you know. I thought it was fine aside from the tutorials. But anyways, that's another story. Anyways, Final Fantasy 13 2. I'm gonna use this as one of the main examples. DLC at this time was just turning into something where like they had a paywall, and this, I know this is something I covered in like videos a long time ago, where you know, they sell you a part of the game, which is the disc, and they'd sell you the rest of the game in these little microtransactions. And I do remember talking about this at some video long ago when I first started the channel, and how they broke this game down with costumes, and not only that, the major thing that everyone had an issue with was the ending. The ending is locked behind a DLC. So, like, I doubt they're gonna remaster this for like the PS5 or PS4. But when the PlayStation Store goes down, there's only going to be a handful of people who have the real ending to this game, who have the complete game on their PS3. Same thing goes for Lightning Returns. Phenomenal game when it comes to like cosmetics and everything. Like, I really wish that you weren't on a timer in this game, like, because I think they did a lot of stuff right. But as far as like costumes go, unlockables and stuff, microtransactions. And believe it or not, a year and a half ago, I bought all the DLC for both of these games because I really did believe, like, hey, one day the store is going to close and I'm not going to have the complete game. It bothers me not to have the complete game. And these are two examples of just games. Once the store goes in a couple of months, you're not going to have the complete version of these games. And I don't know about you guys, but when I don't have the complete version of a game, so say like Mortal Kombat 11, you know, like let's just say I went out there and I bought the base game right now. I don't feel like playing it. I'm sorry, but when DLC comes out for my games and it's like this huge expansion or something, I don't feel like playing it anymore because I'm missing out. One of the reasons I dropped off of Destiny. Destiny came out with the Taken King, then the Rise of Iron. I don't want to pay $60 for the DLC. I dropped off. Kind of sometimes when games, like when they release DLC too fast, I drop off so easily because it's just like, damn, I'm missing out on this experience, but I don't want to fork over another $40 for DLC. It's not complete. I usually wait till they release the ultimate editions of games. Aside from fighting games, that I do kind of, I will say there's a double standard right there, like Tekken 7. It felt like a complete game, but the DLCs felt like it added on to it. But, you know, in 2 months, these games aren't going to be complete when you buy them. I'm going to use another example. One of the best examples, actually. Let me grab them. People will probably roll their eyes right now when I pull them out, but no doubt these games are going to be one of the worst for, you know, DLC content. Give me a second while I stand up. Alright, so the Call of Duty games. I know, like, why such a casual game? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because you know what? Back then, when these games were released, believe it or not, these are decent games. The Modern Warfare series, I mean, Modern Warfare 3 was pretty casual, but Modern Warfare 1 and 2, Black Ops 1 and 2, World at War, those zombie maps, you guys better go purchase that stuff right now. The best thing about this news is that, you know what, I mean, it's not the best thing, but you will be able to download everything you purchase. So even if you don't have these games right now, and you know, you're thinking about in the future you want them, go ahead and download the DLC for like the Call of Duty games. But a reason stands is like not so much Modern Warfare. I mean, it was pretty complete. They released like one map pack for it, I think. Modern Warfare 2, I would say this was a complete game at launch. They added it with 2 map packs on here. I mean, it was pretty cool, you know, the map packs, but that's for multiplayer. But Modern Warfare 3, this is when Black Ops and Modern Warfare 3 is when they started like just milking the hell out of this franchise, especially with DLC like season passes and stuff. Let's talk about Black Ops 1. Those zombie maps that they added on, not anymore. There's no collector's edition. There's no ultimate edition for these games that are on the hard disk. Like, they're gone. In 2 months, you will not have a complete Call of Duty game. And it's a shame because these original Call of Duty games are really good. Zombie maps, you know, for their 4-player co-op. You guys are... And the thing that sucks about the freaking Call of Duty franchise that I will say when it comes to zombies, the freaking zombie maps in Black Ops 1, 2, or World at War, you get like 2 on the base game. 2 maps. Does that sound complete? It sounds bare bones. 2 maps. And it's a shame because the maps that came out on Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, World at War, oh my god, those are some great maps. But 2 on a base game? Imagine growing up or like having kids, which I do have kids, and saying like, hey, you know, back then, because we're at this point now, guys, it's not that far into the future, but you're able to say like, hey, back then, there's this one DLC in Black Ops 2, and I had a new zombie map on there. And this zombie map, you were in China or Hong Kong. I forgot what map that was. Or, you know what? There was this one map, you got to go to the moon. The moon! You fought zombies on the moon. You know how cool that sounds? You fight zombies on the moon. Then your kid's gonna look up on you like, oh, Dad, you know, that's so cool. Can we play it? It's not around anymore, son. Like, we can't. No one preserved it. It's gone. It's a fairy tale. It's a myth. There's something like 100 years from now where like they're gonna be telling stories of these maps that existed at one point, and people are gonna be like, "What? Terminal on Modern Warfare 3? Yeah, right. That wasn't on there." Imagine fighting games. Fighting games, guys. Marvel vs. Capcom. Unless you have the hard disk for Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate 3, it's gone. They have Street Fighter 3 Alpha on here. They have old Sega arcade games on the PlayStation Store. Think about what it's going to do to your trophies, guys. Modern Warfare 3 has trophies in survival mode for the DLC. It's gone. I can pull out others, which I went and bought these right away, right when I heard from it. Dead Space. Yeah. One of the best horror games ever released. Believe it or not, there's downloadable content for both or all 3 of those games. Not so much Dead Space 1. I think there was a side story for Dead Space 1. Dead Space 2, yet costumes and stuff. But more specifically, I'm going to talk about Dead Space 3. Why am I talking about that one? Well, Dead Space 3 has a DLC called the Awakening DLC. More specifically, it's supposed to lead Dead Space 4 if it ever happens. It's supposed to lead into Dead Space 4. It's literally an ending, a portion of the game cut out, and it was a decent portion. I loved that DLC, but it shouldn't have been DLC. It should have been part of the game. So Dead Space 3 will no longer be complete. And I will go and let me read you some titles that I will tell you right now that will not be complete. So, any of the Rock Band games, Rock Band, Guitar Hero, none of those will be complete. You'll be missing songs on there. Gran Turismo, no more downloadable content. Unless you have the Little Big Planet DLC, no more downloadable content. Let's go down. Metal Gear Solid 4, I don't know if you're going to be able to still update the games. That'd be crazy. I hope they do. But download Metal Gear Solid 4 right now for trophy support. Pretty good trophies in there. Let's see. We're going down. Elder Scrolls 5 and Skyrim, Oblivion, DLC in there. You won't be able to get them unless you have the Legendary Edition, the disc on the PS3. Let's keep going down. We got Alien Isolation. Great horror game. DLC's in there. Granted, this game alone, straight up, it actually is a complete game. They actually added on some stuff, but the stuff they added on was so cool. Not going to be able to well, you'll be able to play it on the PS4 because it is on there, so I guess we'll scratch that one out. The Assassin's Creed games, they're already on the PS4, PS5. Battlefield 3. You can't get those map packs anymore, and people still play Battlefield 3, so you're going to be, you know, you'll be missing out on some things out there, but the multiplayer is kind of dying out now. Bioshock Infinite DLC won't be around anymore unless you have the disc. Bioshock 2, there is DLC for that one. Birds of Steel, I haven't played that. Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, I believe that these came with vouchers, if I'm correct. Yeah, Borderlands game voucher for all 4 add-on packs. So it's not on the disc. So you're gonna be missing out Borderlands 1, but they did re-release it, so I guess we're okay there. Earth Defense Force, they re-released that, so we're good. We'll just go down. Dead Space, I already talked about Dead Space. The God of War games are fine. Killzone, those are offline, so those don't really matter. We'll keep going down a little bit. I just want to see if we have any more of these games. Soul Calibur 5. You'll be missing some fighters in there. SSX characters. Forced Unleashed 2. Challenging maps, lightsabers, you know, unlockables. You'll be missing DLCs on there. Street Fighter 4. You're going to be missing half the fighters on there. Street Fighter 4. The Last of Us. Can't buy Left Behind, but like I said, it's on PS4. Doesn't matter. Here's one that's not on the store anymore and was actually taken off. Transformers. War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron. Both great games. Both have great DLCs. Can't buy those anymore. Those games are offline. They're dead. Uncharted. Those have been re-released, but again, multiplayer map packs. Multiplayer's not around much anymore for those. So they're just, you know, dust in the wind. Catherine. Destiny. Like I said, there's quite a few games here, guys, that we're going to be missing out. Right, and let's talk about the PSP games. Dissidia, Final Fantasy, characters. You're going to be missing character costumes, music, all that stuff. You can download all that stuff onto your PlayStation Vita. I'm so glad I have the Vita right now, because the Vita, I'm having it download all my PSP games. All of them. My PSP games are going to be on my Vita. And I need to download the DLC now onto my Vita, so I need to go and buy a memory stick for the Vita. It's so much crap that's going. There's so much stuff on the PlayStation Store that's going to be gone. And there's not enough time to buy it. It makes me think like, man, did I get the PS4 too early? Should I have just waited and just continued to buy content for the PS Vita or like the PS3? These are such great consoles, and they're going to be gone. Like, the stores are gone. Their legacies are going. Developers, Splunky, Castle Crashers, but they remastered that one, so I think we're good. What I'm hoping to see is, the more I say that they remaster something, I'm hoping that they come out with more stuff that, you know, they're remastering. But like I said, games like Breath of Fire 4 on here. I'm going down my list that I just downloaded today. So I got Breath of Fire 4, Vagrant Story, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, DuckTales Remastered. You might want to download that, because I don't think that one's on the PS4 store yet. Sonic CD, you might want to get that one. Sonic the Hedgehog. Here's one for the PS2 that's an underrated game. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Great fighting game. I thought, you know, not great, but it's a decent fighting game. 2-player fun, co-ops, cheat codes are in there and everything. Sonic Adventure 1, 2, Metal Gear Solid VR missions, Metal Gear Solid from the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection. As far as like the Vita store, I'm just saying, for the stores to go, the Vita store gone. The Vita store is pretty much dead. No, like, or the Vita's dead, actually, because there's not a lot of physical games on there, but like all the games that came out on the Vita were pretty much digital. They're going. PSP DLC for games like Dissidia, those games are incomplete now. This is what I'm saying. This is one of those reasons like why I never liked downloadable content, because when there's downloadable content, you're adding more to the game, and that's it. Like, you add more onto it, and it's now no longer a complete game if you just have the disc or whatever, or it's required you have internet connection. That's why I am a fan of games that, or companies that do this to their games, where they have like a complete edition, you know. BioShock Infinite was one of those games that, it was, like I said, it was already complete, but everything's on the disc, so I don't gotta worry about this game. Like, this game will stand the test of time. I can pop it at any PS3. I can play all the DLC I want. Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, all of those games have, you know, ripped copies of all the DLC on the disc. It's perfect. Perfect way to preserve a game. But we're at this point where it's just like, all these games that are going, they're just gonna be memories. You guys want some suggestions for like PlayStation games that you could download? Astro Tripper is one of the best shoot 'em ups I've had on the PlayStation 3. It's a great game, fantastic. Earthshield, Strider. That's on the PS4 though. Like I said, I'm seeing a pattern that, hey, hopefully they do add some more support to the PS or the PlayStation 5 or 4, where they just remaster these games or re-release them. But it's not going to stop the fact that, like, hey, half these games that are in my collection are now incomplete and will forever be incomplete. I won't be able to, like, invite friends over and say, hey, you know, we got the map packs for Modern Warfare. And the thing is, I wish that Sony would just say, hey, you know what, for a day, download all you want. Like, if they could, like, be some kind of compromise, because, I mean, they're still forcing us to pay full price for all these games. But I think Sony can take a day and just say, hey, for the people who really care, this is the day you want to download anything, download as much as you want. For real, like, why not? If they're getting rid of these games, if they say, oh, these games aren't making us a profit, nobody cares about them, then if nobody cares about them, it should be no problem to just let them be free for a day. If Sony doesn't care about them, let us download these games for a single day. A single day, just that way it's on our account. We can download whenever we want. So supposedly this movement is just because the main dude that they, you know, put over everybody said, like, oh, nobody likes old games anymore. Why would anyone want to play old games? I'm gonna tell you something. Like, this is just my PlayStation 4 and 3 wall right here. Over here, I have my 360s. Down there, I have my Genesis. Almost all my consoles get used. Almost all of them. The one I would say that's least used right now is probably my PlayStation, but my PS3 can already play PlayStation games. My PS3 plays my PlayStation games. The one that's next to, like, not used, because I guess that's cheating, would be, let's see, I'm trying to look. It's probably my Super Nintendo. The reason I'm not using my Super Nintendo, freaking Nintendo, they're adding games every month to that Nintendo system, so I don't gotta whip out my Super Nintendo. I don't gotta plug it in anymore. Nintendo Switch has it covered. My Xbox, original Xbox, don't gotta use that anymore because Microsoft has that thing, like, foolproof pretty much. I can play any Xbox game I want on there. It's already built in. Nintendo has it covered. Microsoft has it covered. Sony did have it covered with the PS3, but I mean, it looks like we're going a different route. So my Dreamcast, probably it doesn't get a lot of playtime in it, but a lot of the Dreamcast games are being re-released. And the thing is, on the PS3, there are some Dreamcast games on there. I noticed that there's going to be more Dreamcast games coming out on the Nintendo Switch, which is good. But, you know, it's like all these consoles that have come out, they're kind of foolproof almost. Like, they're future-proof. They have ways to where we can go back and play these old games. Sony had that way. The PS3, like, the best way to have, like, the best of both worlds was the PS5, PS3. PS5 for your PS4 and PS5 games, PS3 for your PS1, 2, and 3. If you have the original fat model. Other than that, you do need a PS2. But, like I said, download DLC. I think that should be your main focus. If there's a hard copy of a game, download the DLC. Get the hard copy later. You don't need the full game, the full bundle or whatever. Just get the hard copy later, but download the DLC for the game. If there's a game you know you want in the future, look it up, see if there's DLC. Download the DLC first. One thing I think that we should be looking like for in the future right now is when the 3DS store closes. Because when that happens, I'm pretty sure it'll happen soon. It's not going to be pretty. There's going to be a lot of Game Boy games, a lot of Game Boy Advance games, Super Nintendo games that will go. Right now, I'm just downloading stuff on my Vita because, like I said, DLC matters right now. Getting all the PSP Vita stuff on there. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Because there are There's a lot of indie games out there. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Episode 1 and 2, granted not great games. You won't be able to buy those anymore. There's no physical release. Just look out for that, man. Look out for videos. Look out for lists that people make of games that will no longer be complete. I'll probably make a list, you know, just that we have something to do, you know, in the next coming months. But right now, I really think Sony is going to take a dive in the sales market. Nobody's going to be buying PlayStation 4 games, PS5 games. For people who care, you're probably going to see a big rise in the PS3 purchase department. And I mean, like I said, I don't know like what those sales figures were, but I feel like Sony owes it to us to at least tell us like, hey, this is why we're closing it down. It's too much money. We weren't really making a profit off of it. But then again, why are we paying for why are we going to pay for PlayStation Plus? Our PlayStation Plus membership should cover what it takes to keep the PS3 servers up, because freaking Sony doesn't have to charge us, and they already proved that on the PS3. PS3 Online functionality is free, and we know paying them doesn't do anything because they got hacked in 2011. So anyways, that's the end for my rant. Let me know what you guys think. What's your take on this video? What's your take on this whole situation that's going on? Like, subscribe. Remember, when you're gaming, power up.